Hello guys, this is Yash Avasthi. I am blessed to be serving here as a founder and managing director in a data science company termed as AM Analytics Enlightening the World. And as you might be knowing that we are surrounded with the elections and how the people are feeling and what will be the results. And as soon as the elections were done, the only thing which we wanted to listen were the election predictions. Whether the election predictions are through exit polls or through our unique way, which is data science, we are here with our new results, as this thing excites everyone. So tomorrow, which is 3rd of December 2023, is the day which is going to actually unfold a lot of things about a lot of political parties, what were the work done in the past 5 years and what will be the election predictions. So there were elections, state elections which took place in 5 states. The 5 states were of course Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram and Telangana. We, through our data science, which is backed by our artificial intelligence, predicted what will be the future of these political parties on the 3rd of December, the result day, and hence which particular political party is going to form the government in each state respectively. So we did those data science predictions backed by our AI and of course groomed by our machine learning structures. So the first thing which we need to tell is that we are the first in the world to create history by actually measuring 100 quadrillion data points. 100 quadrillion data points could actually be termed as, in Hindi standard units, as one chunk. So 100 quadrillion data points were measured by us to actually come what will be the sentimental analysis of people towards political parties in each of these states where elections took place, and hence what will be the results. So what I would first clarify, what is the difference between the election predictions which generally take place through exit polls and through data science. In exit polls, generally a particular sample is taken. So that sample could be of 10,000 people or 15,000 people or 5,000 people or 6,000 people or 16,000. The figure could vary, but the figure generally lies between 10 to 15,000 in general. So based on the opinions of 10 to 15,000 people, the exit polls give you the results. But what data science does is that it measures each and every person, not only of all of those states where the elections are taking place, but also whole of India and hence whole of world, to actually find out what will be the predictions of the elections and of course of anything, of business, companies, markets, etc. So this is one basic difference. We do it in automation, so that helps us to calculate, evaluate these many data points, because 100 quadrillion data points is actually going to take us 1 year or 2 years if we are doing it manually. So in automation, when we gave the results for the election prediction, we did the analysis on 2 different occasions. One, the prediction was done on 10th of October. So the results were different on 10th of October 2023. That means that if the elections were to take place on 10th of October 2023 in the respective states, the results were going to be different. Now here in India, the basic thing is that the elections change in few hours. Forget about days, forget about months. The elections change in few hours, and we are going to tell you what our team predicted on 10th of October and what we have predicted right now, most latest on 2nd of December. So we'll start with the Chhattisgarh state elections. So Chhattisgarh state election, we predicted on 10th of October that there will be a landslide victory for Congress in Chhattisgarh on 10th of October. This was predicted on 10th of October. So that means that if elections were to take place on 10th of October, Chhattisgarh was going to witness a landslide victory of Congress on 10th. But then the elections graph took a huge curve slowly and steadily. Now that curve has actually resulted in the following process. So the percentage of vote share which we predicted through our software on 10th of October in Chhattisgarh was 60% for Congress, 24% for BJP, and rest of the 16% to others. So these are the median average values. This was the figure. The 60% for Congress, 24% for BJP, 16% for others were the median figures on 10th of October. But now when you measure it on 2nd of December, the results have actually gone in favor of BJP. Now, if because the elections have taken place. So the results which are to be expected as per our data science with almost 99.99% accuracy is that Congress is going to get a vote share of 44% in Chhattisgarh. BJP is going to get a vote share of 40% and others are still going to get 16%. So the drift took place from Congress to BJP. Now the vote percentage share which Congress was expected to receive in Chhattisgarh came down from 60 to 44. For BJP, it went up from 24 to 40 and others remained still. So that was 16%. So that means that as much as the elections came closer, people drifted towards BJP, and I'll tell you what were the reasons why they did that. And why, and of course the seats, there are 90 MLA seats in Chhattisgarh, and why these things are happening is something which is very significant to understand. Congress out of 90 seats as a median are going to get 46 seats as per our data science. So that means that the figure which we got from data science in Chhattisgarh state elections for Congress was 42 to 50 seats. 42 to 50 seats were means actually is the prediction which the Congress will get in terms of MLA seats for Chhattisgarh. BJP is going to get 36 to 44 seats, and of course others will stagger from 0 to 1. It will be 0, but it could be 1 seat as well in Chhattisgarh. So BJP means on 10th of October it looked that there would be a landslide victory for Congress in Chhattisgarh, and BJP will never be able to even cover half of the distance which Congress has covered. So there was no sense of anti-incumbency in the data science software, but as soon as we enter into the elections, BJP picked up the elections and it went up till 36 to 44, making the median figure as 40 for BJP. Now the seats of 90, so the majority, the party which will sit on the throne of Chhattisgarh has to get 46 seats. So now Congress is expected to get 42 to 50 seats and BJP 36 to 44. This means that 4 seats can swing anywhere in Chhattisgarh. So there are 4 seats which we expect as per our data science that it can swing anywhere in any political party. But as per our data science, even if BJP steadied their campaign in Chhattisgarh, it is expected that Congress still has a higher hand in Chhattisgarh state elections and they will be able to form the government. Now, Congress was expected to get 70 plus seats by getting 60% of votes, but now they have dipped down to 42 to 50, which will still ensure that Congress makes the government in Chhattisgarh. But the real problem starts that as per our data science, we predict that this government can be toppled up by BJP in near future. So you'll have to wait for a year or two and you will see that Chhattisgarh has a BJP government named even after Congress getting higher seats than BJP tomorrow, that is on 3rd of December. This is what our data science predicts. Had the margin been 70 for Congress and BJP was still there in those 24% of votes, which was the case in 10th of October, it was difficult for BJP to form a government by getting MLAs. Now it will be an easier task for BJP to form political party in Chhattisgarh after 2 years or maybe after 1 year, but it is still expected that tomorrow when the results will come, Congress will have an edge over BJP. Even they will have to think that they could have done better because they were expected to gain a lot, but now they are getting something around 46 seats, which will still be enough for Congress to form government, where 4 seats can swing anywhere. Now, the factors which are affecting Chhattisgarh state elections is actually the Raman Singh factor, the CM face factor. As soon as we entered this factor into a software of Raman Singh as face value, the graph of BJP decreased, means it decreased exponentially. That means there were other factors which were responsible to take BJP, to steady the ship of BJP in the election campaign for Chhattisgarh, but the CM face of Raman Singh still has a lot of anti-incumbency, which the Prime Minister and the central government were able to curb to some extent, but not to complete extent in Chhattisgarh. And that could be that people aren't accepting Raman Singh as a CM face and they aren't accepting him as any face. That could be because of the non-acceptance of Raman Singh and a huge anti-incumbency which he had when he was CM 5 years back. The other thing is that Congress was expected to get 70 seats, but it is now the swelling of BJP seats has increased and Congress is dipping down still forming the government, but it is dipping down, is because Congress was overconfident during the last phase of election in Chhattisgarh, which gave an opportunity to BJP to sneak through. They weren't able to sneak through as per our predictions, but they were able to actually make some solid opposition in the Chhattisgarh State Legislative Assembly seats. The Naxalites issue was very well handled by the central government, where the Home Minister particularly came to Chhattisgarh and said that they are going to ensure that Chhattisgarh is not going to be negatively impacted by Naxalites in the near future. And this factor worked in favor of BJP to actually increase the seats. Now, Congress was actually winning the Chhattisgarh State Legislative Assembly seats. They even if they did nothing, they just had to go door to door and say that you give me the vote. That persuasion was lacking from Congress point of view, because they expected that they are going to win in any case. And that is where BJP steadied the ship. The only thing which BJP will think after the predictions and after the election results which come out is, had we started the campaign little earlier? Because if you see, our data science predicts that the local leaders of BJP accepted and believed that they are going to lose, and that is why they started late. It was only the intervention of the higher bodies of BJP which shifted them towards working. But now they would believe that if they would have worked more, maybe they could have changed the results in Chhattisgarh. But as per our data science, you are going to assume that Congress will form the government, but they could have done a lot better than what they are doing as per our predictions. Now, Chhattisgarh is divided into regions. It is divided into North Chhattisgarh, Central Chhattisgarh and Bastar. So, on an average, Congress in North Chhattisgarh, as per our predictions, will get 12 seats, whereas BJP will get 8 seats. North Chhattisgarh, Congress gets 12, BJP gets 8. Central Chhattisgarh, Congress gets 30, BJP gets 25. And Bastar, Congress gets 4 and BJP gets 8. There's tight competition in Bastar if there are 12 seats. So Bastar has a very tight competition, but in Central Chhattisgarh, Congress leads with 5 seats, making its figure to 30, and with BJP lagging behind with 25. Whereas in North Chhattisgarh, Congress has 12 with BJP being 8. So the average figure which comes is 46 for Congress and BJP 40-41. And remind you, 4 seats can swing anywhere. So if it goes to BJP to Congress, the figure goes to 50 for Congress, and if it goes to BJP, then you never know. Now we'll come to the most discussed state in these 5 election predictions, and it is Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh has a total number of MLA seats quantitatively as 230. Now on 10th of October, we brought some graphs out for a theoretical at a surface level study of what is going to happen if the elections take place on 10th of October, and the graph suggested that Congress was winning the election on 10th of October. Now, I particularly got the chance to interact with the top officials of Congress, with the top people who are taking responsibility of the Madhya Pradesh Congress elections, and I will tell you what the direct statement was, that we do not require any kind of knowledge about what is going to happen in the state legislative assembly seats, because we know we are winning. This was what the direct statement was from the top leaders and the ones who work with the top leaders of Congress MP state. Now, this was something which is a proof that Congress became overconfident, because now when we predict on 2nd of December 2023 with a better accuracy, the graph has completely changed. On 10th of October, Congress was winning comfortably, though BJP still had a chance to overcome. But what difference was there between BJP and Congress in the past 2 months was that BJP was trying each second to turn the tables, and Congress was sitting on the chair, being overconfident that they are still going to win the elections, which was the major difference why we got some of the predictions which we are going to tell you. Now, the percentage of vote share, if we tell you, BJP tomorrow in the election results can get, I'm sure, we are sure will get 44% of vote share in Madhya Pradesh as a median. Congress will get 40% of vote share in Madhya Pradesh. Others are going to get 16% of vote share. So that makes the figure of BJP lying from 40% to 48% in terms of vote percentage share. For Congress, it lies from 36% to 44%, making a median average figure of 40%, and others 16%. So percentage vote share in Madhya Pradesh for the political parties will be BJP 44%, Congress 40%, others 16%, which is completely different to what we evaluated on 10th of October. This tells that in the past 50 days, BJP worked each minute, each hour, each day of their campaign to turn the tables, and they did as per our predictions now. The seats which we expect as per our data science, and we know that BJP is going to get in Madhya Pradesh, will be 140 seats. The pendulum swings from 120 to 160 for BJP, and hence the median figure is 140 for BJP. Congress can get 90 seats in in Madhya Pradesh in comparison to BJP, and their figure will range from 70 to 110. So their minimum could be 70, their maximum could be 110 if they perform well, or else BJP is going to form government with a huge majority. That is why the reason behind this is that there's a very interesting fact which we predicted as per our data science. Out of 230 seats in Madhya Pradesh, 74 seats are actually termed as home for BJP candidates. The reason is because in the past 3 elections, that means in past 15 years, with the elections going up and down in each of its 5 years tenure, there are 74 seats on which BJP candidates haven't lost in the past 15 years. They are not going to lose those seats even today. Whereas correspondingly, this figure is 11 for Congress. That means that BJP is going to get those 74 seats anyhow. Now, out of 230, the majority which a party needs to get in Madhya Pradesh is 116. That makes 42 seats for BJP to get extra to what they normally get, because 74 seats they are going to get anyhow. They have been getting it from past 15 years and they will still get it. Now they have to get 42 seats out of the remaining 144 seats, 142 seats. So out of 144, 143 seats, it is an easy task for BJP to get 42 seats to form the government, especially when a prime minister said that the people of Madhya Pradesh are going to vote on his name, for his face. Now, when we go on to the details, Madhya Pradesh is a very tricky election, just a difference of 10 seats can actually swing the political party, which we saw in the year 2018. There was a difference of 10 seats and Congress formed the government. Here, BJP is going to form a huge government this time as per our prediction, with the number lying from 120 to 160. It could be 140 as a median. Now, when we divide Madhya Pradesh into regions, we encountered that Malwa-Nimar region in Madhya Pradesh has a total number of 66 seats around. In the year 2013, now we are going to tell you the instances, what BJP got in 2013, what BJP got in 2018, and what it is expected to get in 2023. This is what we are going to tell you for Malwa-Nimar region. So BJP in 2013, out of 66 seats in Malwa-Nimar region, in 2013 BJP got 56, 2018 BJP got 28. Now 2023 it is expected to get 40 out of 66 seats. Congress got 9 seats in 2013, 35 seats in 2018, and is expected to get 26 seats in 2023. The others got 1 seat in 2013, 3 seats in 2018, and 0 to 1 again in 2023. Now for the Bundelkhand region in Madhya Pradesh has close to 26 seats. In 2013, BJP got 20. In 2018, BJP got 14. Now BJP is expected to get 22 in that Bundelkhand region for the Madhya Pradesh State Assembly elections. Whereas Congress got 6 seats in 2013, 10 seats in 2018, and is expected to get just 4 in 2023, which marks a huge difference between what happened onto the grassroots level for people, as freebies didn't work here. Congress was giving free cylinders to people. They were giving cylinders for just rupees 400. BJP reduced the figure to 450. Congress reduced to 400. So this fact proves that freebies aren't going to work in the upcoming elections. What is going to work is that whether you are working for people and first thing, and when you work for people, whether that work is reaching to the people, and the third thing is whether you are being able to pursue people that you have done this work, and it has reached to the people, because doing thing is one thing, and that particular thing when it reaches the people is a totally different thing when you are actually taking in account to a population which is in crores. So and others in Bundelkhand are going to get 0 to 1 seat. There's a tight competition in one of the seat in Bundelkhand, and maybe that can also swing towards BJP, but if it doesn't, one seat can go to other from this region. Gwalior Chambal region has 34 seats in Madhya Pradesh. BJP got 20 in 2013, 7 in 2018, and is expected to get 16 to 20 seats in the 2023 elections. Congress, whereas got 12 seats in comparison to BJP's 20 in the year 2013. It got 26 seats in 2018 and is expected to get 13 to 17 seats for Gwalior Chambal region in 2023 elections, whereas the others can get 0 to 1 again. Vindhya region has 30 to 31 seats around. In 2013, BJP got 16, 2018, BJP got 24. Now BJP is expected to receive 28 to 30 seats, which is further more than what it got in the year 2013 and 2018. So BJP can get 28 to 30 seats in Vindhya region. Congress got 12 seats in Vindhya region in the year 2013. It got 6 in 2018. Now it is expected to get 0 to 2 seats in the year 2023. For Madhya Bharat region, of course the others in the Vindhya region can get 1 seat. Madhya Bharat region has 36 seats in Madhya Pradesh. BJP got 29 seats in that Madhya Bharat region of 36 seats in the year 2013. In 2018, BJP got 23 seats. Now BJP is expected to get 32 seats. Whereas Congress got 6 in 2013, 13 seats in 2018 and is expected to get just 4 in 2023, marks that how badly Congress has performed in the past 2 months just because of campaigning, because they were easily winning this election of Madhya Pradesh. But then suddenly you see a change in tide when the central government goes into Madhya Pradesh. They actually remove the people who were sitting as MLAs. They actually remove the tickets for the people. They ask their MPs to fight the election. The Prime Minister goes there, says that they do not require any face because I am going to be the face in Madhya Pradesh. Whenever you go to the EVM, you vote in the name of Mr. Prime Minister, which is Narendra Modi. You think about me and then vote. This was what the change was. Whereas Congress was sitting that they are going to win election, they are still going to win election without persuasion, which tells you how skeptical the nature of Indian politics is. You can do a whole lot of things in the past 4 years, but if that last year is not used to actually pursue people, that what you have done and what the other party has not done, there could be a huge drastic change. And hence I've said, we have come with this underlying factor that elections in India change in few hours. Forget about days, forget about months. In Mahakaushal is one more region left in Madhya Pradesh. It has 36 seats. BJP can get 24 seats out of 36 seats in Mahakaushal. Congress, whereas can get 13 seats out of 36, and others can get 0 to 1. And of course, in 2013, 2018, there was the opposite. In 2013, when BJP came to power, BJP won 24 against Congress, which won 13 in Mahakaushal region. In 2018, when Congress won the election, it went the opposite. Congress got 24, whereas BJP got 13. Now, it is again the opposite as per our data science. BJP is going to get 24, Congress is going to get 13 in the Mahakaushal region. So we are done with the Madhya Pradesh elections. I will just give you a summary of what is happening across region. Malwa Nimar region is going to see BJP getting 40 seats, Congress getting 26, others getting 0 to 1. Bundelkhand region out of 26 is going to give a very hearty support to BJP with 22 seats, whereas Congress can get 4 and others can get 0 to 1. Gwalior Chambal's region out of 34 seats is expected to give 16 to 20 seats to BJP, 13 to 17 to Congress, and others 0 to 1. Vindhya region having 30 to 31 seats is expected to completely go in favor of BJP with 28 to 30 seats. And Congress can get 0 to 2, whereas others can get 1 seat. Madhya Bharat region having 36 seats is actually going to sweep in favor of, this region can get swept in favor of BJP, where BJP can get 32 seats on an average out of 36 seats. Congress can get 4, BSP BSP can get 1 seat here, but it can still, this seat is a swing seat, it can go anywhere because the margin was very less. Mahakaushal region, of course, is going to support BJP again, as 24 seats is expected to go in favor to BJP and 13 seats will go in favor of Congress. Now we are going to discuss about Rajasthan. Rajasthan has 200 state legislative assembly seats. One seat got adjourned. So now the elections which took place in the 2023 state elections were for 199 seats. Now when we evaluated the percentage vote share for Rajasthan, we are 100% sure, theoretically, and as per data science, we are 99.99% sure that the vote percentage in Rajasthan is going to divide in a following manner, where BJP is expected to get 44% of vote share, Congress is expected to get 40% of vote share, and others can get 16% of vote share. Now, even in Rajasthan, what happened was that BJP was winning even on 10th of October, and today there is a slight, you would say, a very tight competition between BJP and Congress in Rajasthan, but BJP still is expected to get seats ranging from 88 to 110. So BJP can get seats between 88 to 110, whereas Congress is expected to get seats from 70 to 90, and others can play a crucial role in Rajasthan where they can get seats close to 10 to 19. So the figure which we got was from 0 to 19 with the median being 10. So others can get 10 seats, whereas BJP is expected to get 88 to 110 seats and Congress is expected to get 70 to 90 seats. Now when we talk about the region-wise seats, Rajasthan has a region named as Hadoti with 58 seats. Now out of those 58, it is expected that BJP can get 38. Congress will get 16 and others can get 4. Marwar region with 61 seats, BJP is expected to get 25 to 26 seats, Congress can get 14, others can get 6. Mewar having 60 seats, BJP can get 40, Congress can get 20, others can get 0 to 1. Shekhawati with 20 to 21 seats, BJP can get 6, others can get 11, others can get 3 to 5 and Congress will get 11. 10 seats can fluctuate anywhere here, and that is going to determine who can actually go to the power. But if today you are asking, BJP has a good edge over Congress in Rajasthan, as they can get to 108 to 110. For Telangana and Mizoram, these states, actually we didn't predict the figures for these states, but we only took out the graph for these states, and the graph which we got was that Mizoram is going to have that regional dominance tomorrow when you are going to see the results being showcased by Election Commission of India. The regional parties, the ZPM and the MNF, the Mizo National Front and of course the ZPM, they are going to rule those elections, whereas BJP will be the lowest in Mizoram. The case is very opposite in Mizoram, means the graph was touching 0, it was surviving up till 1 and 2 and then again it dipped to 0. So Mizoram, there's a very pity situation for BJP, whereas Congress can lie in between with ZPM and MNF fighting out for the throne in the tomorrow's results for Mizoram. Whereas for Telangana, there are 119 seats. We took the graphs and it was found that BRS Congress the graph was competing between the two, BRS and Congress. So who will get the throne, means of course whether it will be Rahul Gandhi or it will be Chandrasekhar ji from BRS, we'll get the knowledge tomorrow only, but the graph suggests that the lowest will be AIMIM and BJP, with AIMIM completely sweeping the 6 seats for which they fight each time in Telangana. So this was what the results were for the elections. Now if we discuss why we got these elections, why in Chhattisgarh Congress is winning, means in a tight competition when it was expected that it could clean sweep Chhattisgarh. Why in Madhya Pradesh Congress was winning cleanly, but suddenly there is a shift and the BJP is winning with a huge majority. Why in Rajasthan there is still a tight competition with BJP having an edge over Congress, and why there is a regional dominance in Mizoram, and why Telangana has BRS in 5 years back with a complete sweep, and the BRS got close to 101 seats in Telangana, and now there is a tight competition between Congress and BRS. There's one thing which comes in a very glorifying manner, that you could be winning a certain fight, but a dose of overconfidence is always going to sink your Titanic. The reason why we are saying this is because Congress was winning the election in Madhya Pradesh on 10th of October. The officials were overconfident. They never required anyone to peep into the Madhya Pradesh elections because they knew there was no requirement for them to go to the booth, to go to the local bodies, because they thought that a party which has been there for past 18 years will have a huge anti-incumbency. which was adamant with our predictions, which we showed on 10th of October for Madhya Pradesh. We kept it to ourselves. We never showed it because we wanted to take one more prediction out after 2 months. And now we are here saying that on 10th of October, Congress was winning. But suddenly when you see the graph of Madhya Pradesh, in the past 50 days, there has been a huge shift towards BJP, and that is all because of one person. One person, the Prime Minister of India. Means as a neutral person with data science not knowing what BJP is, with data science not knowing what Congress is, with data science not knowing what overconfidence is, it just keeps the variables into the equations. It just grasps in the values from data pipeline, and as soon as it gets the data, it evaluates it. It cleans, means it is difficult for us to even scroll down 100 quadrillion data points, but suddenly the software comes up with the solvings, and it tells us that since Congress was winning, but suddenly there was a factor that people are going to vote for Narendra Modi factor. People are going to vote for this variable. People are going to vote for the name of the Prime Minister. People are going to forget who the Chief Minister was and are going to vote in the name of the Prime Minister. One thing which was very adamant, that there is a huge protest of Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji in Madhya Pradesh as Chief Minister, and data science predicts that if Shivraj Singh Chauhan was to be the Chief Minister's face in Madhya Pradesh, even if Congress was being overconfident, they were still able to win the election. Now, this was sensed by BJP quite earlier, and they did not disclose who will be the CM face. Instead, the Prime Minister came and said that I am going to utilize all of my face value, saying that you are going to vote for me. This is what changed the election. Now, people weren't thinking who the Chief Minister will be. The anti-incumbency which Shivraj Singh Chauhan had, with this name had, actually went away, since the voters in Madhya Pradesh were never going to vote for the CM's face. They were only going to vote for the Prime Minister, and that is where the change took place, and that is where even the freebies didn't work. There are many other factors linked to the Prime Minister's face which we are going to discuss quickly. Now, what happened in Rajasthan? In Rajasthan, when you put the factor of Vasundhara Raje into the equation, there's a huge decline in BJP's vote share. Huge decline. Now that tells us that she hasn't been able to maintain a bridge between her and common people. Now there is a sense in Rajasthan, as per our data science, we are sitting away from Rajasthan and we know that through our data science, that when they vote for Vasundhara Raje ji, they are not voting for Vasundhara Raje ji, instead they are voting for a queen. And the queen needs to understand that what is the general sense, what is the general nerve of the people who are voting. Now this was sensed by the BJP's think tank. They sensed it, they found out that okay, the CM's face isn't going to work for us in Rajasthan, and hence the vote again will be taken by means in the name of central government. This was a big difference. Now in Rajasthan, we will like to appreciate the way Congress fought, because there is a huge intra-party factionalism in Congress, huge. Now Sachin Pilot is actually not going to do anything as per our data science in his region, which is going to affect positively to Gehlot. This is what a general sense is, and this is what the graph tells in data science. That inter-party factionalism was predominant to actually give us the result that BJP is going to sit on the throne in Rajasthan. It was sitting on 10th of October. It is still sitting. The only difference is that the contest became little tight because of the high quality persuasion which the Rajasthan Congress did. But still, BJP will be able to sneak through in Rajasthan state elections. Now, when we talk about Chhattisgarh, Raman Singh, of course, was again a big factor. People don't want to vote for Raman Singh, and if Raman Singh was to be the Chief Minister's face, I am pretty much sure that as per our predictions which we got, BJP was to get seat from 0 to 10. And they were actually being clean swept by Congress on 10th of October, but suddenly with Congress being a statue and not performing in pursuing people, BJP came close. But as per our prediction, what we predict is that Chhattisgarh Congress will sneak through, but will still be endangered by BJP's infiltration into the MLAs of Congress. This is what our data science predicts. In Madhya Pradesh, BJP is winning with a high margin, and that is what tells you that you need to work each minute and each second until you achieve your target or goal. Because sitting alone, thinking, being overconfident that you can do everything is actually going to take you down. And Madhya Pradesh election predictions is a resemblance of it as a group. And then in Rajasthan, BJP still can sneak through, but others can play a crucial role because it is expected to change. There's a trend in Rajasthan that after each 5 years, things change. Now, what other things which we predicted for Telangana and Mizoram is that in Telangana, freebies worked to a huge extent in the year 2018 with BRS coming to the throne by winning 101 seats out of 119 seats. This is a complete sweep. But now again, those freebies were offered, but still in the election predictions, it look as if BRS can still sneak through with Congress giving it a fight. But what about the freebies? The freebies aren't working in the elections anymore. What is working is that how much control do you have at the grassroots level to the people who are going to vote for you. Whereas in Mizoram, there's a huge distress for in the name of BJP. People don't want to BJP and don't want to use the name of BJP, and the local parties in Mizoram are actually swaying away from BJP, saying that we aren't attached to BJP because they know that the graph tells us that if you are associating any political party with the name of BJP, the graph comes down. It goes to zero. And it was hardly surviving for BJP in Mizoram. So these were the predictions which we evaluated in automation, and of course the factors which we took were in hundreds of quadrillions, so it is very difficult to actually name everything. But what we can tell you is that BJP is actually cashing out the name of the Prime Minister of India very effectively, and this could be told with the fact that where means 74 seats BJP is going to win in MP anyhow, in the worst of cases, if they don't win any seat ahead. But still, they just have to manage 42 seats, and where they were losing in each seat, the Prime Minister covered through his or her rallies, and through his rallies for the candidates, MLA candidates, whether it was a female or a male, the Prime Minister went there guessing that which political constituency, which MLA constituency was endangered towards swinging away from BJP. And the factor of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya is something which is associated to the Prime Minister to a huge extent, and that is what is one of the many factors which work in favor of the Prime Minister. Jyotiraditya Scindia going into BJP, and then the predictions which the Gwalior region gives in Madhya Pradesh is something which is phenomenal, because now BJP is expected to get 16 to 20 seats out of 34, which it got in the year 2013. And of course the terrorism, the G20 summit, the Chandrayaan 3 success, and the rallies which took place, the freebies which were offered by the state government, the central government, the loan waivers which took place, the law and orders of each state, the red diary factor which took place in Rajasthan, the conflict between Gehlot and Pilot, and there are various factors which took place into our equation. And out of all of those things, the anti-incumbency, the pro-incumbency, the extension of the food grain program by the central government, and all of these factors came into all of our predictions, and we are able to, means you can rest assured and sleep tonight tightly thinking that this is going to be what will be unfolded tomorrow in the state government election predictions. By then we will keep on updating you with what we are doing and where we are establishing ourselves, what is the structure of AM, and let's meet soon through another video where we'll be able to express what is going on internally at AM. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Ram.